Radio, Raheem here with Frank Warren. I know you're headed to Arsenal, so I'm going to make this very quick. Listen, Anthony Yarde, it looked like a tough performance. How did you rate what he did tonight?
I just felt that if he kept to the centre of the ring, he was having some success. Every time he went on the ropes, he was getting caught, and that's what happened. The better man won on the night.
It didn't seem like there was very much stick on his punches.
I was just going to say that, and it's just like he was touching rather than making them, emphasising them or letting the shots go. And he's a big puncher, and he just never got them off.
I mean, I know you guys have reconciled behind your man, but where does he go from here? What does the future look like for Yarde?
He's got a comeback fight with Riyadh season and see what happens after that.
How do you rate Benavidez? It was his first fight at 75. How did he look to you tonight?
He done that. He boxed right, but you put him on the back foot and
he had a little success off the back foot.
Yeah, and that's what you got to do. You got to take the centre ring and keep him on the back foot, and keep that jab going and let the right hand. And I thought he had some success when he did it, but he weren't hurting him enough. He wasn't enough power in the shots.
The last one, Sam Noakes, he fought like a monster tonight.
I had a clash of heads. I mean that made a big difference. Obviously, he was struggling with that, but he's a tough guy, and he was and Abdullah's a good young fighter. He's a 21-year-old kid. And I'll take my hat off to him. But Sam didn't done himself proud, and I thought it was a bit harsh to score him on his own, really harsh. But it was a good performance, and obviously he's with us, and he'll come again.
No disrespect to Yarde, as expected. Done his thing. Well done to him. He showed a lot of heart in there. But listen, Benavidez was too much.
Like I said, he did show heart, but that punching combinations from Benavidez, fast hands, seemed to break him down.
He didn't respect Yarde, did he? He didn't respect him. He just walked through everything he had. But yeah, hopefully he'll be in with Beterbiev or Bivol next. That'll be good to see.
Yeah, I feel really good, man. I feel really happy I got my first stoppage. I feel happy that I silenced all the critics saying that I couldn't get a stoppage. This guy had a great performance against two of the top fighters at light heavyweight. He fought Sergey Kovalev years ago, but Sergey Kovalev is a legend at light heavyweight. He fought Beterbiev, and he gave both of them a hell of a fight. I made this fight look easier than both of their fights, you know what I mean? And I went in there and stopped them before. So, I think it was a great performance on my part. I'm very happy with the job I did. I'm very happy I followed my game plan. I could get better. I could get really better, better than this. But I still got the knockout, so I'm just happy that there's still room for improvement, but I still got the knockout, you know what I mean? So I'm happy with everything. We worked really hard for this, and we shut a lot of people up.
Thoughts and feelings, it's boxing, isn't it? So it's like when you go into a fight, I knew I was the underdog, but I just thought that, I'll give him a look he's never seen before. And, you go in the fight saying, I can hit, I can box as well. And I knew today it was just whoever landed first. Whoever landed that good shot first. I was dipping. I think he hit me with a good uppercut to the nose. And then, he threw his flurries, as he does, kept coming forward. But I was fine until I took a knee. Because, again, my nose and the blood or whatever. And then it hit me when I was down. And after that, I was just a little bit dizzy. But it was a good fight, man. Take nothing away from David Benavidez. He's a probably future Hall of Famer. He's been a world champion for a long time for a reason. And nothing but respect.
Was there anything he'd done that surprised you, would you say?
No. We know how he fights. It was a good fight, man. From what I remember of it being live, obviously I need to go back and watch it. I remember it just being a good fight.
And I'm confident with, I know exactly what I did with him. And but I'm not going to take it easy. I'm not going to overlook him. He's a great fighter. He's a great champion. But I want to achieve greatness, and the only way I do that is pushing myself to the limit.
Why do you prefer that fight over like a Bivol then?
There's no. You guys. I'm going to correct you guys where you guys keep saying that I don't get these fights, I don't get that fight. I don't get none of these fights because these guys don't want to fight me. If I would have had those fights available, I would have took that fight. The fight with Bivol, I was trying to fight Bivol for this fight. He didn't want to take the fight. I was, with all these guys. That's why, I don't like people disrespecting me, saying that, oh, I'm talking all this shit, but I'm not taking the fights with these guys. These guys
wasn't disrespecting.
No. I'm talking about other people. You know what I mean? Stuff that I see on the internet. These people, they don't want to take the fight with me. If they wanted to take the fight with me, that's the fight would have been having. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, David is cold, man. You can't have all the muck and muck, man, bro. You gotta shed that muscle mass if you're gonna be able to deal with a volume puncher like David Benavidez. And you gotta have an IQ. And you have to be physically strong. And you gotta be able to fight fire with fire sometimes. Then you gotta know when to not fight fire with fire and when to get out of there. It's a lot you gotta do to be able to beat Benavidez. He's not landing most of them punches though.
He landed about 7 or 8. He landed still going though.
4 out of 10 punches?
No, he landed about 7 or 8, and he's also holding, which I don't know why the ref didn't see that.
Yeah, he was at full. All right, so round 5. We're scheduled for 12.
Benavidez needs to pick up his jab, man. He got a stiff, strong jab. He got to use it. Single jab, yop. Double jab, yop, yop. Then come behind it with a combination.
Todd, you asked me what the path to victory was.
I agree. The pressure, if Yarde doesn't make an adjustment, the pressure that Benavidez is putting on him will wear him down like it wears all these guys down. You got to be a Floyd Mayweather type of dude to be able to deal with that type of pressure and not let it break you.
He needs to do a lot more. Agreed. And this is the thing about Anthony Yarde. He's been to the mountaintop. He just hasn't been able to win at the top. So this is the time when you use that experience.
He's starting to land them shots on Yarde. Starting to land the shots.
You gotta beat the monster, man. It's not easy. You don't want to doubt yourself, and you don't want to regret this opportunity. Benavidez with Yarde on the first punch.
It's an uphill climb for Anthony Yarde. He getting hit with big shots right now. And he's tough, so he's not gonna just lay down. But he taking some punishment right now.
Trying to box up the back foot for 12 rounds. Yep, he needed.
David has the same body as Tyson Fury.
Hey, man. Not only does he have quick hands and power, but he's so calm and fluid with the combinations. He fights so relaxed.
Yarde is not throwing power because his arms are tired, because he's muscle bound, and he doesn't want to leave himself out there to get countered by the 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 pieces of David Benavidez. That's why. And I don't know why he's on the ropes. Why are you on the ropes? You should have trained to move for 12 rounds. Not dance, but just walk David Benavidez. Walk him into a corner, spin out, get off. Bing, bing, bing. He's just standing there getting, man, it's heavy bag practice right now. Benavidez doing what Benavidez does. He's getting off. Oh, my goodness. Yarde start holding now. Unless you know that I was getting to him. And then he tries to answer with his offense and it's not there.
Still waiting for this fight to heat up.
He's physically tired and the punishment is wearing him down too. Oh, that's not a good puncher though. Don't throw that, y'all. Oh my goodness, David Benavidez with a lead right hand. So disrespectful.
Referee says bring him up. Benavidez has never been muscular. He's always been kind of soft around that midsection. Maybe he doesn't like the body shots.
Somebody said I'm driving. Let me see the round. I'll show y'all the next round. Y'all trying to get me down. Benavidez getting in his rhythm, man. I've seen Benavidez sharper, but he's definitely getting in his rhythm right now. They got to talk to him. I want to hear what the corners are saying. Buatsi!
David Benavidez and Anthony Yarde just gave the boxing world a night to remember and cherish. As the fight concluded, the fans and analysts are not over it yet. Pros are reacting to the fight and its results, and here we have collected the best ones for you. Before the fight even started, Teddy Atlas had already told the world what Benavidez would bring to the ring. Teddy Atlas highlighted the thrill that fans should anticipate by describing the expected style of David Benavidez, also referred to as the Mexican Monster. He emphasized Benavidez's aggressive style, relentless attack, and ongoing pressure, pointing out that his battles are never boring.
You're gonna expect what you get from the monster, the Mexican Monster Benavidez. You're gonna get offense, nothing boring. You're gonna get pressure, you're gonna get aggression, you're gonna get body work, and you're gonna get punches and bunches. You're gonna get explosions in moments, like a rainstorm, a rainstorm that comes and then all of a sudden the the clouds go away, and the weather clears up. And then it comes again, and the weather clears up.
Atlas continued with the idea that Benavidez can wear Anthony Yarde down throughout the fight if he can impose his style, which combines relentless pressure, body work, and high-volume bursts. He underlined that Benavidez is the clear favorite going into the game because of these resources and his experience, and Atlas personally believes he will win if he successfully carries out his strategy.
Late, I think Benavidez, if he gets his way with the body work, the pressure, the volume, the burst, if he gets his way, he'll wear down Yarde. So at the end of the day, I like Benavidez to win. He's a prohibitive favorite, so you're not laying all that wood.
There was the buildup of the air between David Benavidez and Anthony Yarde that had hit the boiling point way before they even stepped into the ring. Both fans and pundits had billed the contest as a conflict of brute force and disciplined accuracy, a fight that could transform the division. Before the fight, promoter Frank Warren emphasized the importance of the match between Anthony Yarde and the undefeated David Benavidez, describing it as a potentially pivotal moment for Yarde's career. Benavidez's perfect record was acknowledged, but he emphasized that Yarde's punching power, now carried up from super middleweight, could have a big impact.
Massive away win for him. You know, he's 30-0. He's a great fighter, Benavidez. You know, I don't believe, and I hope I'm right, he brought his power up from coming up from super middle. But you know, Ante's been there twice. He's unlucky. Certainly in the first fight, he could have won the first fight, and he certainly gave Benavidez the toughest fight I thought up until his Bivol fight, without a doubt. If he can just refine a couple of things he does in the ring, he could win this.
Benavidez brought his usual flair, a fighter who went tirelessly and never gave up. Yarde came with as much conviction and power, timing, and a sense of urgency that was a demonstration of the significance of the moment. The word in terms of the boxing world was that their styles would deliver a match that could not be predicted, and when the bell went on, the match delivered all the expectations of drama and competitiveness. Ode Aladipo pointed out that while David Benavidez enters the fight as the clear favorite, fans shouldn't overlook Anthony Yarde. He described the matchup as intriguing, suggesting that Yarde's size, experience, and punching power could create significant challenges for Benavidez.
But yeah, look, let's see what he can do against Yarde first. I think that's going to be an interesting fight. I don't know if the power that we saw at 168 has carried itself to 175. Don't get me wrong, I think he's favourite for that fight, but I do think Yarde's going to cause him a few problems. I do. I think a lot of people seem to think this is one-way traffic. I don't know about that. Honestly, I don't know about that. I think there's some twists and turns in that fight. Yarde's a problem. I think we saw it against Beterbiev. I mean, remember, that was fight of the year over here. Yarde can crack, and he's very big himself. He's now experienced.
Benavidez started with forward motion and was testing the will of Yarde by throwing heavy jabs and early combinations aimed at taking physical control over him. Yarde stood up with commendable composure and met the pressure with smart replies in terms that Benavidez could not merely impose upon him and grant him. While acknowledging Anthony Yarde's strength and skill as a fighter, Jay Peterson stressed that David Benavidez performs on a completely different level. He emphasized Benavidez's quickness, accuracy, and unrelenting pressure, pointing out that these traits would eventually overpower Yarde during the bout.
I got Benavidez essentially in the same. Yarde's not a pushover. He's not a bitch. No. He's coming to fight. I just think that the level difference is going to be
across the board.
Yeah, I think the level difference is across the board. And then the problem is with David Benavidez, avalanche. Once he starts to snowball, it does not continue to snowball. It turns into an avalanche, and it turns into an avalanche fast, and shit can get bad. So I do think Benavidez is going to stop him in about inside of 8 to 10.
That's speed.
The clash between David Benavidez and Anthony Yarde represented a matchup of contrasting but complementary strengths, making it one of the most compelling fights in recent memory. Benavidez brought relentless pressure, exceptional speed, and surgical precision, constantly controlling distance and imposing his pace. His ability to combine volume punching with targeted body work made him a formidable force capable of breaking down even the toughest opponents. Although he hopes to finish earlier, David Benavidez shared shared his expectations for the fight, speculating that he might be able to stop Anthony Yarde in the 8th or 9th round. He made it clear that his goal is to give the fans an intense, excellent fight rather than just a knockout. Benavidez called the fight a true war in the ring, acknowledging Yarde's strengths and pointing out that he would be in top form.
We're ready to go 12 rounds. We're ready to go to war with Anthony Yarde. He's coming with everything. He's strong. I'm going to say that I think David can knock him out maybe in the 8th or 9th round. Hopefully he can do it earlier, but we're ready. We're ready to go to war, man. But we're not looking for the knockout. We prepare to give the fans a great fight, a good war. And I think it's going to be tough to, like I said, Anthony Yarde is going to be in his best shape ever. And he's proven himself.
He emphasized that this will not be an easy night in the ring by adding that Yarde has shown himself to be a formidable opponent. Benavidez called it possibly the hardest fight of his career, pointing out that although a knockout would be ideal, Yarde might actually suffer serious injuries.
We're going to give you a great fight. He's going to destroy this guy, and then everything's going to be okay. Everything's going to be great. He's only 28 years old. And we're coming for all the monsters in the division.
Callum Smith gave a calm assessment of the game, calling it an exciting and fascinating contest, recalling how the British fighter had demonstrated resiliency and the capacity to perform well under duress in previous battles. He acknowledged Anthony Yarde's toughness. He clarified that an opponent like Yarde, who depends on timing and accuracy, finds Benavidez's style, relentless pacing, steady speed, and high punch output to be especially challenging.
Yeah, it's a good fight. Look, I think Yarde's shown you can fight when the chips are down, but I don't know, I do favour Benavidez. I think he's getting better and better as the fight's going on. I think 175 probably suits him a little bit more than 168. And
Benavidez's continuous pressure and volume would put Yarde to the test in ways that few fighters could withstand, according to Smith. However, he stressed that the fight offered both drama and a top-notch display of boxing skill, making it an intriguing clash of styles and skill that fans and analysts alike should study.
I don't know, I think stylistically, the pace he sets and the punch outputs is probably the wrong style for someone like Yarde, but no, it's a good fight, and again, one that I'll pay close attention to because I'll hopefully fight the winner somewhere down the line.
Yarde offered raw power, experience, and a calculated approach honed over years at the elite level. His size, timing, and ability to land devastating single shots meant that Benavidez could never take him lightly. The contrast of Benavidez's non-stop aggression against Yarde's knockout potential created a dynamic equilibrium where each fighter tested the other's limits in every round. Boxing analyst Bredman Edwards praised Benavidez as a fighter deserving of recognition on a pound-for-pound basis. He highlighted his skill, speed, and tenacity, calling him the greatest opponent he has ever faced in his career. Edwards admitted that the fight would be difficult, even though he believes Benavidez will win. Yarde poses a significant threat due to his size, strength, and experience against top opponents like Kovalev and Beterbiev.
He's a really big, strong guy. He has that experience now with like the top-level guys, for Kovalev, for Beterbiev, gave them both really good fights. Is this going to be one of those fights where it's just like, yeah, David Benavidez is in a real fight? Because normally guys that have success against him, like Caleb Plant, Andre, they're like boxers. They're like use their legs and like be like a little elusive. Yarde's not doing that, bro. Yarde is coming right at you. So how do you see that?
First of all, David Benavidez deserves to be on the pound-for-pound list. David Benavidez is the best fighter I've ever coached against. He's the real deal.
Yeah.
Yarde poses a significant threat due to his size, strength, and experience against top opponents like Kovalev and Beterbiev. He concluded that although Yarde might find some early opportunities, Benavidez's endurance, technical accuracy, and unrelenting pressure would probably prove decisive, solidifying his reputation as a formidable and extremely challenging opponent.
Morrell took a couple of dirty shots after the bell, but he also hurt David a couple of times with a couple of little right hooks in there. David's face was a little bit distorted a little bit, so he took some tough shots. So I always like to see how a fighter looks after he takes a tough fight like that, because just because you won, that doesn't mean that doesn't erase the punishment that you took. And Morrell took a lot of punishment versus David Benavidez, and we've seen the remnants of that, and he got knocked down, and you know what I mean? So sometimes it's not just the fight, it's the accumulation of the fights. That was a hard fight for Benavidez. You know what I mean? Not so much as in terms of who was winning the rounds, because you could see he was winning the rounds.
David Benavidez will perform decisively, according to Sean Zittel, who believes the champion will win in 10 rounds. Even though the attention was initially directed elsewhere on the card, Zittek continued, Benavidez would probably control the action and end the show convincingly, proving why he deserved to be the main attraction.
But I think Benavidez wins inside of 10 rounds. I mean, this is one of the special offensive fighters in the game. Dudes his size rarely have his level of hand speed, and I think he's gonna close the show and show why he was the headliner, even if we're not anticipating his fight like we are the co-main.
Not only was the quality of the action presented at a high level, but the competitive aspect of the division was on display as the fight turned out to be dramatic, skilled, and hotly contested, which fulfilled its billing and left the boxing world anticipating the next time they met. Radio Raheem admitted that David Benavidez is the overwhelming favorite going into the bout, and with good reason. He did, however, describe how Anthony Yarde might pose a threat to him. He pointed out that Yarde had engaged in risky bouts in the past, such as going to Russia to fight Sergey Kovalev and taking on Beterbiev when the latter had a perfect knockout record, both of which ended in defeat.
Benavidez is the favorite, and for good reason. But let me tell you how how Yarde could do this. The knock on him has been his lack of technique. His talent really hasn't been honed and shaped with the fundamentals. And he is constantly reaching beyond his grasp. He's going to Russia to fight Kovalev in his backyard. He's fighting Beterbiev when it had 100% knockout ratio, and nobody thought that was a fight that was wise to take. And neither one of those times was he successful.
Fans saw non-stop action from beginning to end following an exciting matchup between Anthony Yarde and David Benavidez. Yarde's strength and experience faced off against Benavidez's unrelenting pressure and accuracy in a fight that exceeded all expectations. Every round had pivotal moments that kept the audience on the edge of their seats, from strategic exchanges to punishing combinations. Which of Benavidez's explosive bursts or Yarde's heavy counters caught your attention the most? As the fight progressed, who did you find yourself supporting? For complete post-fight analysis and behind-the-scenes insights from this incredible fight, be sure to follow, relive the highlights, and share your thoughts in the comments.